Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, Shivani, and I am bringing back a series that is well loved called Chai Chats, but today's Chai Chats is sponsored by Stanley. Just kidding. They're not sponsoring this video, but I didn't have my chai with me. I usually drink I have to do caffeine-free chai because I limit myself to 1 cup of caffeine per day, and that's usually my coffee in the morning. So the chai that I do drink is a mix of the Harris Teeter brand raspberry flavored hibiscus tea and the Yogi brand detox tea. I like the mixture of them both. I feel better after drinking it, and it makes me feel like I still have chai without like the caffeine boost, which is what I currently am aspiring to have. But anyways, sorry I sound so out of breath. I am going to be in this Chai Chats talking about books that I have read and recommend that are either recent or near and dear to my heart. Sometimes I might have read a book and I remember certain moments and bits and pieces of it extremely vividly. I also remember how books make me feel at the end of the day when I'm just warm and fuzzy after reading it, or like certain books that just like hold emotion to me. And yeah, so that'll be that. And so I'm going to start with a book that restored my faith in arranged marriage. It's called Love Unarranged by N.M. Patel. If any of you guys are looking for a spicy romance with realistic problems of arranged marriage and solutions, I would highly recommend you guys check this book out. It's available on Amazon, and I think if you are based in India, you're able to buy this book anywhere. I'm not sure about that, but I know I got my copy of it on Amazon. So check out N.M. Patel, Love Unarranged. And this is a third in a series, by the way. So there's that. And then if you want a sweet, like, southern vibe, southern love romance, like perfect for the summer, I would suggest you guys check out these 2 books. And the first one is A Low Country Bride by Perlecia Williams. I don't know if I'm saying the author's name properly. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. But Perlecia Williams is a great author. I like that in both of these books. This is the second one, which is A Sweet Low Country Proposal. I like that in both of these books, the main female lead is a woman of color, and some of the struggles that we as women of color go through are portrayed just in a different lighting, and it's done in a very tasteful, graceful manner. So I genuinely do love the fact that these 2 are sweet southern romances, and they're a perfect summer book, if I'm being completely honest. Like, I don't know, they're both set in Charleston, South Carolina, and I think that's like a perfect summer place to go to. But anyways, I'm going to switch gears just a little bit with Agatha Christie. I have 2 books by her. This is the first book, which debuts Hercule Poirot, and it's called The Mysterious Affair at Styles. And then the second book that I recommend is The Big Four. And I love both books because this novel did exactly what it was supposed to do, which is set up Agatha's writing. It set up Poirot as a detective, and it just is set in England as well. And for me, like, this is a book that I would read for comfort. You know, like if I didn't know what to read and I wanted a mystery, but I didn't want it to be too intense, I would pick up this book. And then if you want like international heists on a whole other level, I would go for this book, The Big Four. It's got twists and turns everywhere, and that's the one thing that I love about Agatha Christie books and her mysteries, is that it's literally twists and turns everywhere, and she keeps you on your toes. She really does, and I truly appreciate that in an author. So sticking with that, I'm gonna divert a little bit in terms of books that I'm currently reading that also have like a mystery element, which is this book called Theft of an Idol by Dana Stabenow. And this is part of the third book in her Eye of Isis series. It takes place in Alexandria, Egypt, when Cleopatra is like, it's her reign, and the eye has a very I'm so sorry. I don't know why music decided to play all of a sudden. I was like, wait, what is that noise? Welcome to Filming with Shivani. It's a little unhinged, but anyways, back to my thought pattern. Eye of Isis series, third book, Cleopatra reign in Alexandria, Egypt. It's a very realistic perspective of the life back then. It's not really sugar-coated in terms of what's going on historically, but Stabenow writes it in a very tasteful way that it's not too harsh for the reader to perceive or understand. So I genuinely, thoroughly appreciate that from her. And switching to romance, and I would say like contemporary cute romance, that's what I would call it. These two, one is a series, and these two are standalone books from Catherine Center called Hello Stranger and The Bodyguard. So I was introduced to Hello Stranger when I didn't really know what to do in terms of reading books. I was in the library. I was kind of getting sick of Agatha Christie mysteries. I know, I'm sorry, but even I get tired of stuff. And I was like, I need to read something new. I need to read something that's, elevated. And I was talking to the librarian, and she recommended this, and she goes, I don't really read cute contemporary romances, but this one is so good that you need to give it a try. Well, she did not fail me. She hit the nail right on the head. She was spot on about it, and I genuinely fell in love with Catherine Center's writing. That, like, for me, it's important whenever I read a female protagonist, like, for her to not get a free pass and for her to go through a character arc. I genuinely value that. Like, I really, really do, y'all. And so for me, I'm just sitting there going like, okay, like this is great. And so I like the plot. I like how I'm not really saying anything about the plots of each of these stories because Chai Chats is just supposed to be like a rambly video about me just talking about things I love with a passion, and that's about it. But I don't want to reveal the plot because with these two books specifically, if the plot is revealed, I just am afraid that people won't read it. I'm afraid that people won't read it. So, yeah, anyways, I would highly recommend you check out these books if you want a good story with a good plot where both leads, female and male, go through their own journeys, and they meet halfway through, and they meet in the middle, and they're able to come to a resolution. And it's not something that's very commonplace, if you ask me. Like, I genuinely haven't read, and I've read a lot of books ever since I was like in middle school, and Center's work is not unlike anything I've read. So I highly, highly recommend you check out those books. And then if you just want like a cute romance book that's like part of a series and it's like a small town feel, let me make sure I have these in the right order. Okay, I would recommend and check out this series, the Dream Harbor series by Laurie Gilmore. The first book is, let's put these on my lap, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. And the second book is The Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. Third, and this one I would only recommend you read in the winter if you wanted to pick a book and you were going season by season. I would say this is more of a winter book, but it's called The Christmas Tree Farm. I think the title gave it away. And The Strawberry Patch Pancake House. So if I was to assign a season to each of these books, this would be spring, and this one is my favorite. It has the single dad arc, and he actually is not a deadbeat dad, and he pitches in for his child, and it's a heartwarming story. All of the books that I've read by Laurie Gilmore so far, they're all heartwarming, and they all have meaning and conviction behind them. And then this one I would recommend in the winter, for obvious reasons. The title is literally The Christmas Tree Farm, y'all. So, this is a summer book. And I say that because even though it's a cinnamon bun bookstore, the characters that are in this book mainly are hanging out a lot in the summertime. So I would say this is more of a summer book, and the male main character, he's a fisherman. So, like, summer. And then this is definitely, hands down, a fall book. Fall. Pumpkin spice. I'm one of those people that at Starbucks I do get pumpkin spice lattes, so I'm one of those. Sorry, guys. And then the last book that I want to talk about, and the current one that I'm reading, is called Goddess of the River. And it is a retelling of the Mahabharata with Ganga as the focus. So Goddess of the River is Ma Ganga, and Vaishnavi Patel does a great job of it. I was recommended to read Kaikeyi by Vaishnavi Patel by one of my sisters by proxy, and I was not able to get into it just because I think I have preconceived notions of who Kaikeyi is from the Ramayana. But with Ganga, I don't know if it's because she's such a water person that she's literally a river in India. That for me it was easier to read this book compared to Kaikeyi. I'm gonna have to give Kaikeyi another shot. I don't know when that's gonna happen. I don't really like a lot of retellings. I think one of the retellings that I read was Ariadne, and I forget the author's name, but I know is the author's name ending, is it Oliver? I'm not really sure, but yeah. So anyways, I remember reading Ariadne and I didn't really care for it, and then I read Electra and then I was like, oh, okay, this is cooler. But yeah, retellings are really hard for me to get into at times, and so yeah, I just I have to be very, very choosy, but I'm 51 pages in and I'm excited to read more and explore Goddess of the River. So I highly, highly recommend you check it out. And that will conclude today's Chai Chats with my Stanley mug. One last sip. But I hope to see you guys soon, and if you want a tutorial of this look, please let me know. I will film it for you, and yeah, and this might sound like a repeat, but I actually did sit down to film this look, and I did not see, I don't have one of those setups where I can see the viewfinder or whatever it's called. I don't know words. But anyways, I thought I hit record, and gosh darn it, it didn't record. So anyways, I made sure this video recorded, but yes, anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. I will film this tutorial of this makeup look if you want. I'm more than happy to do that. It's my happy place anyways. So yes, just let me know, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, stay safe, happy, and healthy. Bye, y'all!